When you talk about EDC lights, people are very particular. Okay, TikTok, you win. After countless ads, you wanted this, I ordered it, so now I'm gonna do a review on it. Being as though I'm a flashlight guy, can't have enough good ones in your arsenal, I had to order the TikTok flashlight. Let's get it open. This is the OLIGHT Arkfeld UV. Like I was saying, every other video on TikTok is somebody saying how awesome this thing is. Somebody trying to sell it. I'm not trying to sell it. What I'm gonna do is let you good people know if it's worth it or not. At the time of this recording, I paid, I think, 70 bucks. And does this stack up against other comparable lights? If you've seen some of my videos, you know I like the flashlights. Amazon specials like this are what I typically go for, so this is definitely a venture outside of my comfort zone. Enough talking, let's get it open. I'm pretty sure this came out of China, but so far so good. I like the little pull tab on the box, that's a nice touch. The actual light. We've got the charger, which is pretty interesting. I'm thinking it might be magnetic. It's a typical USB plug, not USB-C. Instructions. Okay, this is not bad. First and foremost, I believe it's made out of aluminum. Feels really good, nice and solid. It's got a blue bezel around the lens here, a blue pocket clip, which is deep carry. That's a nice touch. It says it comes shipped in lockout mode. So we'll press and hold. Got some battery indicators. The UV light is on right now. So you have a toggle here that switches between the UV light and the flashlight. The flashlight portion, turn it on, and then if you hold the button down, the brightness goes with it. Let's see what happens when I turn it off. Does it remember? Oh, it does. Okay, that's good. So every time you turn it off, whenever you turn it back on, it'll remember the last setting you had it on. Let's see, switch to UV light. Yep, okay, good. If you double click the button, it'll go to bright. So normally you have to hold the button down, but if you like it on low, you do a double click, it'll always turn on the brightest one. Okay, and I was wondering about the strobe function. If you press the center button 3 times quickly, you'll have strobe. I like how that's a separate function that you have to activate. A lot of these cheaper flashlights, like these Amazon specials, you got bright, medium, low, strobe, and then SOS for some reason. This light will be whatever you set it to. I can double click it for full brightness and it'll go back down. And I have to actually put it in strobe mode, which is nice. Let's see what happens if I switch it over to UV. Okay, so UV mode is, if you guys do any HVAC work, a lot of PAG oil will have dye in it. That's what I thought this UV might be useful for. So I have a piece of paper here, turn on the flashlight, bring it pretty far away so you guys can see it, but I put 3 lines on there with a highlighter. What happens when we switch over to UV? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's much more visible. I think that's all the testing we really need to do for a UV light. So for all the mechanics out there, this is actually a pretty good choice. It's going to show up that PAG oil, and you can check to see if you have refrigerant leaks. And then of course, you have the light. Just for some comparison, I do have a Coast Slayer. This is my work flashlight. I like it a lot. It's got 3 different levels of brightness, and then it has a memory, so you can set it to your favorite setting and have a quick button for it. And then it has a super bright mode if you hold the button down, but it'll get hot and run the battery down. This one does not have UV functionality, but it does have 2 LEDs up at the top, which is kind of nice. Whereas this OLIGHT just has a single LED for the flashlight and a single LED for the UV light. Size comparison for you. The OLIGHT about 4¼ inches compared to the Coast Slayer, which is 5½. So it is a little bit more everyday carry friendly, although I carry this one all the time and it's perfectly fine. My only real gripe with the Slayer is the belt clip is real flimsy. The belt clip on the OLIGHT looks to be pretty similar as far as the securing mechanism up at the top, but it seems stiffer, beefier. I also like how there are 2 sections to the clip. You have the main pocket carry clip, I guess you'd say. And then you have a secondary one. So if you wanted to have the light facing out like this, or maybe put it on a hat, you could do that. That's pretty clever. And because it has that double back clip, you don't really have anything that's gonna try to snag. And whereas the Slayer clip is just a single section, it likes to catch on things. Whereas this one is gonna have a much more gradual bend down at the bottom and should resist that. Very nice idea, OLIGHT. So now let's talk charging. The clip is magnetic. I just happen to have a USB extension here. And it has a green indicator. The bottom of the OLIGHT is also magnetic. Okay, so when it comes time to charge it, you just slap the charger on the back and you're good to go. Does it still work as a flashlight? It does. UV light? Yep. So you can still use it plugged in, which is a nice feature. And when it's charging, the LED goes to red. I'm sure we can safely say it'll turn green when it's charged. I fully expected not to like this thing. I thought it was going to be overpriced, underbuilt, underwhelming, but I am pleasantly surprised at how well this thing is made. It has a lot of features in it. Now, do I think UV lights are so in demand that they need to be on every pocket flashlight? No, but is it nice to have it? Yeah. If you're out and about doing an HVAC job, this might come in handy. I can safely say 99.9% of the time I'm going to just use this as a flashlight. It's got a lot of useful features for such a small package. The belt clip, that's clever. The magnet on the back, that's clever. The coast light, like I said, this is my work light. I still enjoy this one. I think this is built a little bit tougher. It's a little bit lighter too, dare I say. Coast light is 3¼ ounces. OLIGHT, 3.7 ounces. Okay, I don't know what to make of that. This light feels heavier, but it actually is 18 ounces lighter. That's a surprise. So I know in order for this to be a well-balanced review, the Streamlight wedge would have need to be in this mix here. This is the only one that I happen to have home with me today. And it wasn't really a comparison video. This was more of a how is it video, you know? What do you get when you pay this much for a flashlight? Is it just the name? Coast is pretty well known. They have lots of good product. Not as well known as Streamlight, but still pretty good. And I've never heard of OLIGHT before until TikTok decided to beat me over the head with 1,000 videos showing this flashlight. So it's more of just a what to expect. Packaging was good. Light is great. Would I buy a second one? Probably not. But am I pleasantly surprised? Yeah, I like this a lot. Feels good, small, handy, lots of features. What's not to like? I just got this in the mail today, so it doesn't have any use under its belt. I'm gonna let it charge and then stick it in my pocket for my primary everyday carry. When you talk about EDC lights, people are very particular. I didn't think it would get any better than this one.
So we'll see.
Will all the little gadgets win me over when I'll only really be using it as a light? I don't know. But overall, really nice. Really well done, OLIGHT. This is the OLIGHT Arkfeld. Don't be afraid of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have this flashlight, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. As always, thanks for watching.